Welcome back, everyone. So, in this video, I wanted to cover a very important topic, a frequently asked question as far as what's my all-time high numbers. What are some major profit points that I see when it comes to how the coins are going to be allocated, and really just where things are going to sell off. And so, I'm going to cover that in this video. We're going to take a look at price action, all that good stuff. I wanted to just address those questions here in the beginning. So I know I've done some videos. You can check those out. When I was talking about, the possibility of like a $2 or $3 Doge, and I went over the charts, comparing historical averages and stuff. And I think that for this run, the biggest thing is I think that it's possible that we can have a shorter bull run than normal, simply because we're running early. And this is not exclusive to Dogecoin. Bitcoin is doing the same thing. It's at an all-time high prior to the halving. Never been done before. Altcoins, everything is running along with Bitcoin prior to halving. Never been done before. And a lot of this you can kind of chuck up to the communities growing, new investors, ETFs, early positioning, larger allocations of institutional money coming in. There's a lot of things that you can couple with that to validate why this is happening. But the fact of the matter is, it is. Typically, we have around 18 months for the bull run. So, technically speaking, historically, this time next year, we should still be in the bull run. So, with that being said, that means that we can have certainly a more violent bull run as far as to the upside. Things can move even faster than what we've seen in 2021, but it's just the time frame could be shorter, right? And I want you guys to kind of keep that in mind. It's a possibility. Again, nobody knows. Like I said, these are all first time events, so that's just a hunch there. I have no evidence to back that theory up at all. It's just what my instincts are telling me. It's a possibility. And the biggest thing is we have, especially when it comes to Dogecoin, there's been this stigma, right? This is the point where Dogecoin switches from meme to an actual, I didn't say an actual point, but it switches from, it gets rid of that meme stigma that it's had. And, Dogecoin has already established itself as the king of memes, that it has remained in the top 10. And again, top 10 is not necessarily the end all be all, but it makes a statement, right? And it's remained in the top 10 during the bear market, and even now with the bull, with even Bitcoin setting a new all-time high. Dogecoin has not only stayed in the market, but it has risen in placement, because normally it's around number 10. It's jumped 2 places prior to the halving. That is a very strong signal there. And we even jumped to I think it was number 7 briefly. It's number 8 currently in price action. So, matter of fact, I'll switch over to Coin Market Cap while I'm doing this, so you guys can see. But and even right now, it's gaining momentum versus with the longs versus the shorts here. We've been over 70%. All that kind of plays a number, right? Apart. So I'm going to start with the major sell-off points and the things that I believe, the strategies I believe is going to take place behind that. So number 8. So one of the biggest sell-off points I think is going to be is close to, we have some resistance, 35, and psychological levels, 50 cents, all that kind of stuff. But the biggest thing I think that we're going to see, like record shorts, probably even higher than 2021, is going to be near our all-time high, or even at our all-time high. That is going to be a major point of resistance. So when we start getting around that 69 level, 70 level, just expect it to get hit hard with shorts. Now, we could, depending on what's driving the market, then it could not matter, right? It could not matter. That could be a situation where shorts get spanked. We do not know, but we do know that there will be a push for panic around those levels, and they were able to capitalize off of that last time with Elon and SNL. But there could be a push for panic around those levels, and once they can get panic in there, or you better take profit now, because at that point, if you near the all-time high, it doesn't matter what you purchased Doge at, even if you've been holding the entire time, you'll either be even or in profit, with most of the people being in profit. So that they can certainly change the narrative to take profit now, or you'll be holding another 3 years, something like that. They can push the narrative that the run is over, and at that point, kind of get the tide to turn in their favor and make profit on the way down to wherever Doge decides to consolidate at that time. The next one is obviously around $1, around 90 cents to $1. I expect there to be major resistance around that level as well. And with that, above $1, it's kind of anyone's guess as far as for where the resistance points will be. I can do some percentages, but as we get closer to those numbers, I can better yet give those versus just throwing theory out there. My price target for this run is around $1.40. And I know charts, and if we're using historical averages, can suggest higher, $2, $3. I get it. My biggest thing for this, and my biggest reason for that, because I know a lot of people ask, is this run is not the same as the last run, right? Last run was driven by, hopium. It was, Elon stuff every week. Elon tweets every week. One of the most popular people on the planet was pushing and advocating this like weekly, right? So even if you hadn't heard of Dogecoin, you were hearing about it from a very popular person here, and there were all kinds of narratives out there that could, give you opportunity to make money and drive the momentum behind the coin, right? I mean, that's why we have a lot of the meme coins we have now. That's why we have all the Shiba coins we have now, all the coins now. They're trying to emulate what happened with Doge. And even some of them even took very similar names or marketing strategies, to leech off of the momentum behind the coin. Like if you weren't here in 2020, like I can't explain it to you if you weren't here, but Doge it took over everything. It was everywhere. It was everything, and it was at one point we were having coins pop up. The amount of coins exploded. Right, we had coins popping up every day, saying they're going to be the next Dogecoin. It was the standard. That's why I make my post now saying it's just the king of memes, because it was the standard as far as for percentage wise. It was blowing everything out of the water. It became this global phenomenon. And now, Elon has the lawsuit now, so he's not necessarily mentioning it. This is a more organic run. Now, with that being said, I am very impressed that Doge is running early, that Doge is doing these retests. At the time of recording, Doge has already retested 20 cents 3 times today. As we've been talking about, that's the very strong signal that the market's trying to price it higher. I believe it's going to run when Bitcoin starts retesting that all-time high and ultimately breaks it. I think that's when we're going to get that influx of institutional money in. But I think that with that being said, that's a big difference going forward to what we have with Doge and comparing it to the last trend. I don't think that it's to be closely compared, but it should be looked at, right? Because those resistance points, those supply and demand areas, they do matter. But what the driving force that got us there is different, if that makes sense. It's not completely excitement or hopium. Now we're operating more so off of facts and sovereignty. So if we're looking at the catalyst, what's driving this market now? We can have FOMO, certainly. Typically that happens after you have a period of parabolic movement. We have the X catalyst. That's going to be one of the biggest ones, in my opinion. We don't know when that's coming or the timing of that. Now, if he times that around when we're at the all-time high, not saying he's going to specifically time it around there, but let's just say for coincidence, record shorts are coming in at around that 69 cent level, and he announces, hey, X payments are good to go. Yeah, I'd be very impressed if they could generate enough shorting pressure to stop that. That would be an explosion no matter where it's at, because now it's no longer speculation, it's facts, and you are going to have a very large pull of coins off of the exchanges and onto X, because we believe the X payments and being able to use that is going to come with wallets. And I believe that how this is going to set up to even give Doge more stability is going to be because those coins are coming off of the exchanges and they're not necessarily going to be converted back to fiat or back to the exchanges. So the biggest thing is going to be when those coins are pulled from the exchanges, and obviously if the miners are holding a certain amount, then you have like Robinhood or Binance, which are being lent to shorts. That's going to strain the supply, right? And the beautiful thing is it can be used for things that people are spending money for on always on anyway, right? So even if you're able to tip in Doge or something like that, you can say people are going to be like, you can run an ad for your company and use Dogecoin, that your company has got in tips, because people support your company, and it doesn't necessarily have to be. And if it can be similar to the way we can purchase it, I think that'll be the best setup. So instead of saying that you have to, let's say Doge is $1 per coin, then so instead of saying I have to tip you $1 or whatever, you can do fractional. So you can do whatever amount that you want. And for a company, or if you're popular enough, that's gonna mean a substantial amount of money. And then X can turn around and say, hey, we can take we'll use you can use your Dogecoin wallet or whatever to offset your X premium or to run your ads. And this is how we have that back and forth without going back to the exchanges. That's where the price point comes in, because now, instead of the exchanges making a fortune off of these the transactions or people trying to convert it back to fiat, now there's a community of back and forth exchange between the two, and it's not going back to the the exchanges there. So now the holders are the miners who are getting them, and obviously if they are not dumping and holding, if the price appreciation, that's going to be less incentive for them to dump, so they're going to start holding more. And then you have the exchanges, who I don't believe that they're going to give up their positions. And if they are still lending to short because they want to make that money on those transactional values, because of the price is more stable and because of the price of the overall asset, the price point that they lend these coins out to be shorted, or that they or the borrow rate is going to be a lot higher because there are less coins. So that makes it more of a risk tolerance, the potential for liquidation, all of that plays a point in the availability and the willingness of these coins to be lent and to be shorted, in addition to the psychological aspect of people willing to take those positions with a more stable coin. Because the reason that they're going to attack it is because they're going to hope for something similar to happen that's happened in the past, right? And then we know that crypto, Doge, Bitcoin are all branching into the institutional sector, right? And we're going to have more stability with futures and options and ETFs and all that kind of good stuff. So if we can limit on those sell-offs in the bear market, then that situation where shorts will kind of work itself out. So that is my price point. I know charts can suggest otherwise, but I do think that outside of some global adoption, I think that we'll hit somewhere around that area. So let me know what you think in the comment section. We're going to get into some of the charting stuff now, because I did want to just update you all. So right now we're at around 27 billion, 7% on the day, 1884. We're bouncing around 18 to 20 still. So we're certainly positioning ourselves to retest. Bitcoin has sold off, ironically, to 68. So it's dropping around 2,000. So obviously that'll be affected in the market. So this is kind of like what I meant by that tennis action, that ping pong action between that closest point of resistance and that all-time high. But ultimately, not just Dogecoin, but the entire market is trying to price higher. So that's a very good thing when you're looking at the market, to kind of keep things into perspective as far as where we are when the market's trying to price itself higher. Longs have been buying in greatly. I'm going to take a look here. So the 5 minute, 73% long. The 30 minutes, 72% long to compare to 27, 26 on the 5. 1 hour, 72% long, 27% short. 4 hours, 73% long, 26, and the day, 72% long. So no, as far as the people buying in and the pricing action, the market is pricing it in higher yet still. So we still have some swapping here, but you can see these numbers are getting smaller because their averages are being brought up. So for people that had longs at like 10 cent and 12 cent, they're all swapping out and taking those positions again at around the 18-cent mark. So whenever we come back down to 18, you'll see these numbers peak or spike. You'll see them, they'll do some more swapping here. You'll see it peak, it'll jump up at around the 18-cent mark, but then you'll also see a spike in the new long positions that are being taken in like the 1 day and the 5 minute stuff like that. So these are people that are just treating 18 cent like the new 8 cent or new 6 cent, basically. Open interest is pretty stable around 1.3. Let's go down here. So it's been somewhere between like 1.2 to 1.4. So it's been bouncing 1.2. Yeah. So it's been bouncing between those two around that 200 billion in open interest there between 1.2 1.4. Again, I think that'll spike dramatically when we go above when we start retesting those highs and Bitcoin ultimately breaks it. I think that's going to be the signal, like the back call for the crypto market. I'm going to go to Doge here. Just kind of get a layout. 1825. Matter of fact, let's go to super chart. I'm going to convert it. So right now we're getting a push down in the market as I'm recording this, because when we started this, it was around 19 or so. So this push down is certainly just happening, but we're at around 1806 now. So this is where we got the rejection from last time, around this level here, where they tried to do this push down, and this wick happened and it got bought up and we ended up still having a green day. So, but as for right now, the resistance points here are going to be around 18 to 16 and a half. Obviously, if you can catch it in this zone, I don't know if it'll still be here by the time you watch this video, but obviously in the zone below the current trend is always a good buy. So we've talked about this even here, because it's typically very fast rebound. So even here, you'll see typically the rebounds are very quick. So if you're able to catch it, typically these are good buys for price action. So nothing other than that, the macros have not changed. We still have around that 22 cents resistance, and at that point that opens up that 26 to 30 range for that next leg up. So but ultimately I don't think that we're going to have that retest until we break that all-time high on Bitcoin, because right now we've been consistently getting rejected off of the 20-cent range, and same thing with Bitcoin. It's been consistently getting rejected. So we may have some time there, and where that kind of aligns with the halving, and we probably have that big push after the halving. So that is kind of what I'm expecting. Those are the numbers. Let me know what you think. Let me know the numbers that you're expecting. If you have not subscribed yet, please consider so. We can beat Bitcoin to 100,000 by getting to 100,000 subscribers first. Again, leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts on your all-time high predictions. And we'll certainly open that up to discussion. Maybe I'll do a live about that, because I think that'll be an interesting topic. If you haven't, please like the video, share it with a friend, and I will see you guys in the next one.